Never going to get better.
Juice and Fremont, talk to me, man. Talk to me, Juice.
I'm listening to you brothers, right? Let me say this. The Niners have a Kyle Shanahan problem. That's the situation here. The Chiefs didn't beat the Niners. The Niners beat the freaking Niners. And Kyle is the main reason why they lost 4 years ago, and then why they lost on Sunday, and why this team will never go any further. Kyle is good, but he's not special. Kyle is a game manager, not a game changer. Kyle is a leader, not a leader. Kyle is no different than Marty Schottenheimer, Norris Turner, Todd Haley, Ken Wisenhunt, Eric Mangini, Cliff Kingsford, and Josh freaking McDaniel. All these big evil so-called offensive genius all failed as head coaches. Freaking Usher had a longer senior career than all these men combined as freaking head coaches in the NFL. You know why this hurt? Because of all the Chiefs teams that went to the Super Bowl, this is one of the weakest Chiefs teams that made it to the Super Bowl, and you guys freaking uncoached. Heck, the Chiefs could have had freaking Taylor Swift at the slot and Ice Spice at the tailback, and they still would have lost. Everybody wants to blame the O-line and missing Simons and the blocking scheme against Jones, but who's responsible for putting this line together? The coach. Everybody want to talk about special teams, but who's the person that's supposed to remind these players of what they need to do in a big game situation? Second half, they were going up against a defense that was ranked 4th in passing and 17th in rush defense. And then 9 offensive plays, you're in the freaking league, and they decided to throw 8 times and run once. You target Debo 11 times, knowing that he's not a speed receiver, and he was being covered like a freaking blanket by their all-pro McDuffie. And here's the biggest one. Kelsey had more catches by himself than Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle combined. So you tell me who's the offensive genius. Did you know that the great Andy Reid has an OC? Yes, the 3-time Super Bowl winning coach, Andy Reid has an OC. His name is freaking Matt Nagy. So not also is Kyle not at the same level as Andy Reid, Kyle can't even sniff Matt Nagy's freaking jockstrap. This is the reason why Coach Kyle will never be let go, because Bonte said it earlier, because he's making money for the owners. The stadium's being sold, merchandises are selling the last 2 weeks in the millions, and so the Niners don't have a coach. They have a cash cow, and as long as Kyle Shanahan is in charge, he's being pimped to bring in money for the owner. And guess who loses us? Us, the freaking fans. Kyle Shanahan is the Mark Jackson of the NFL. And until there's a change at the freaking head coach position, the Niners will always be good, but not special. And as I leave here, here's a small poem that I want to dedicate to all the roasters. You school him once, shame on Reed. You school him again, shame on freaking Kyle. And as I leave, I'm going to put myself in a Moni roast jail. I'm going to leave my numbers to the producers, and you guys can call me on my personal phone or text. But as long as Kyle is the coach of this team, I will never call this show, because enough is enough. And like Obama, it's time for a freaking change, and let's address the freaking issue.
Damn.
Did he just retire?
He just retired. Now, Juice.
I'm taking Shanahan over Matt Nagy, but I hear what he's saying.
Juice,
Josh McDaniels.
You know I love you. I love you. You're about Mount Rushmore callers. Shanahan's not going anywhere. That means we're just not going to hear from Juice unless we call him. Listen, man, it's a painful Super Bowl, but it is alarming that a couple days after the Super Bowl, we're talking about players not knowing the OT rules, not knowing what was going on in that situation.
What about my guard tweeting about whose responsibility it was and throwing
Feliciano.
multiple teammates under the bus, and then getting into it with Jalen Carter?
Yeah, I have Jalen Carter is 5 times the player you are, Feliciano. You go do one-on-one blocking drills with Jalen Carter, you wouldn't win one drill. All right? You wouldn't win one drill. Honestly, I don't have the energy to get into him today. He would. Could you
imagine John Lynch opening up his phone this morning and like seeing the string of tweets coming from John Feliciano?
I got my boy Ayuk. Can't even get a thought out. He's got his family tweeting left and right. I mean, this is a joke. It's a joke. My all-pro tight end gets 3 targets.
Oh, by the way, one of the best linebackers in Niner history is going to be out for at minimum a year.
You know,
that's
that
the
really
Navarro Bowman.
Yeah,
it really feels very similar.
That really hurt.
How long? I was sitting there devastated for that.
Oh,
guy.
I was too.
I know you were.
I was too. The cart came out. You know how I feel about Dre Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw starts hitting the helmet. He set a tone in that Super Bowl that I was like, wow, this guy's trying to steal the MVP award. He was everywhere. He was blowing up screens, blowing up runs. He was got sideline to sideline. They lost all that with Oren Burks. And I get what John Lynch did in the presser yesterday. They both, gave Oren Burks compliments for the way he played. Listen, man, he was put in a tough spot, but he just was not ready. The drop off from Drake Greenlaw to Oren Burks it's not even close. It's not even close. And they took advantage of it. And it killed the defense. Yet they still held Patrick Mahomes at 19 points. That's why I said this year it'd be nice if the offense could pick up the defense this season. And for the most part, they did. But you know what? When we look at the playoffs in totality, the Green Bay game, and the Detroit game, and the Kansas City game, we didn't play button up all postseason. We got everything we wanted. A bye week, home field advantage, health. They didn't play button up football at all.
No, they squandered a huge opportunity. And they should be sick to their stomachs.
And really, they should have lost to Green Bay. Well, they should have lost to Detroit. And you know what? Karma's a you-know-what. And they lost to the Chiefs. Despite controlling the game, you weren't button up.
All the sounds from the game are coming out now, the mic'd up players. And when you see Fred Warner's reaction to seeing Dre Greenlaw on the ground and the coach, it's heartbreaking. Fred sounds like every one of us. No!
You want to hear what else is heartbreaking? Before we get to the lines, we're going to get to everybody. Here's Kelsey on his podcast. What is it?
New Heights.
New Heights with his brother Jason Kelsey. Here's what Travis Kelsey had to say about the Niners receiving the ball first in overtime.
Do win the coin toss. That's what you get. You get the opportunity to have the advantage, and they handed it right over to us.
Yeah, well,
not trying to harp on the guy, but it was a huge, like when they said we want to receive, and the ref looked at Fred and he said, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
You sure you want to receive? And he said, I want to receive. I want the ball.
I was texting.
Just like, I jumped out of my seat and said, hey, here we go. Let's go, boys.
Perfect.
They want to receive. We get second possession. We know exactly what they want. Defense, hold them. Just hold them to 3. I don't just hold them to 3. We're going to go down here and win this thing, baby.
Freaking crazy. Really was.
Come on, man. Come on. That's why I flipped my mindset. I was like, in the moment, I was thinking about it because, you know what? In the moment, I didn't know the overtime rules. I forgot about the overtime rules in the Josh Allen. Remember I was asking you, Lubin? I was like, wait.
I was explaining it to everyone.
Yeah, I was like, wait. And so when I had the night to sit on it, and then now you're hearing everything,
do you know what they call that
off.
in baseball and tournaments? Having the hammer.
Yep.
So you know how many runs you need to score to end the game. It's called having the hammer. You do it a lot in tournaments, right?
Yeah.
And so you want to be the last team to bat and all that stuff. I get it.
We should have kicked the ball off, Shasky. We gave up. Listen to Kelsey. Hold on. I want you to punt it down that 3 last, Benoni. Listen to Kelsey.
Do win the coin toss. That's what you get. You get the opportunity to have the advantage, and they handed it right over to us.
They are laughing at us. But Chris Jones, Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes.
They have Pat Mahomes.
They were buttoned up, though. They were ready for that moment. They understood everything about overtime.
But what about
and in fact, in the biggest game of our lives, the biggest game of the season, our team wasn't buttoned up, and we looked like fools for not knowing the rules. No. We look so. Oh my gosh!
Fonte, I might be in the minority, and I'm sure I am because obviously when you play, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but when
they're laughing at us,
your defense,
laughing at us.
You had Bosa on the sideline in the final couple minutes at times because he was so tired.
Well, that's a Bosa problem.
Well, no, that's
you know what? I got something for Bosa. You know what? It's real, but you're the highest paid player in the league, defensive player in the league. Mad Max Crosby's out here smoking cigars, playing every damn snap. He doesn't come off the field. The fact that Bosa was off the field on the final 2 possessions, I remember telling you, I was like, why is Nick Bosa off the field?
I know.
It's the final drive of regulation, and Bosa's off the field for like 3 plays.
But
what?
They were
gassed. The last drive of the Super Bowl.
I know, but they were gassed.
It is the Super Bowl.
I understand that.
This is what you run your sprints for. This is the Super Bowl. Yeah, and my highest paid defensive player is on the sideline in the final possession of regulation. I'm sorry,
Let me
man.
give you another analogy.
I can't roll with that. I can't roll with that.
I know, but do you remember at the end of the 2016 Game 7, like, Steph had nothing left. He had no juice left.
But is Steph Curry saying, get me off the floor?
No.
He's going to play.
No. But he had nothing left.
He's going to play.
There was nothing left.
Klay Thompson
Game
had
7
nothing
with
left.
2 minutes, that no one had
But you know
anything
what?
left.
They're not going to ask for a sub.
No, that's true.
They're not asking for a sub.
I can't argue there.
You know what? Aaron Donald, did he come off the field against Cincinnati? He played every damn snap and disrupted the fourth down play against Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying
like Reggie White's coming off the field.
But I do. It's easy to be like, come on, you got to get back out there. It's
know
another
what?
thing when you're literally chasing around the best quarterback ever.
Kansas City is a button-up organization. The Niners are for the most part too. But in the margins,
it was the details.
The things that separates champs from chumps was on display there. Kelsey's literally laughing at us.
Well, I would say I think the difference for me as I look back on it, and I never thought about it until the playoffs. For me, the big difference was when you paid Hargrave, you lost so much depth by not having Jimmy Ward, Charles Omenihu, Ibukam, etc. Like, that caught up to them. That third linebacker, not having Alshire, it caught up to them. Now, it took until the final quarter of the Super Bowl, but it caught up to them. The depth, missing the depth, right then and there is when it caught up to them.
But you know what? Offensively, you were fine. Offensively, you were fine.
I don't think you were fine in this game. You needed to score. You needed it.
I'm saying health-wise. Going into the game, you had all your players.
Yes. Going into the game, yes. But, Bonte, you lost Debo for stretches. He wasn't playing on the final drive for a couple of snaps. You had Ray. Juwan Jennings, I think, logged the most snaps he's logged all year in this one game, outside of games that Debo missed. So, they underperformed. A lot of guys underperformed.
But this overtime, I don't think that overtime decision is going to loom with us for the rest of our lives.
I'm going to defend Shanahan
because Kansas City just having the advantage. Shanahan's talking about a third possession in overtime.
Well, that I don't agree with.
Possession?
That I don't agree with.
What are you talking about? In overtime, you're talking about getting the ball again?
I don't believe
Do you know who you're going up against? Oh, my gosh, I'm going to lose my mind.
If you think 2 field goals on your final 2 drives against that player in that moment on that stage, that's where we differ. Even
out of the 2-minute warning, you see Mahomes jump up when the ball's batted down. We all knew Spaz was going to send somebody on the blitz.
Oh, we knew it was coming.
We knew McDuffie was blitzing. He's right there setting it up. You didn't have a better play designed for 3rd and 5 against the blitz after a timeout and 2-minute warning? Knowing that, hey, maybe let's run the ball. Let's make them use a timeout even if we don't get it. Just bad strategy. Just not button up. In the quarters, in the halves, you make a bad decision. The referee saying, "Are you sure?" In the Super Bowl, unbelievable. But let's go. Let's clear the board here, man. We got full lines here. We're gonna start off. We got to be quick here. Everybody has to be quick.
Quick, no pleasant.
45 seconds or less. 45 seconds or less. We'll start off with Tony in Oakland. Tony, what's happening?
Okay, this is what we have to solve the problem. Shanahan is a lamb that will never become a lion. So the dude has to be put in a room with no windows, figure out the plays. He's got to have an offensive coordinator on the line speaking to Purdy. Can you imagine having Shanahan in your head? He ruins your zone. Now, if they want to get rid of that person because we're never going to win with him, Belichick and Carroll are free. Get them in there. This dude will never do it. He doesn't have the balls. Let's look at this. I mean, if DeBartolo were in there, he would be doing this right now. But these other people, like York, and then that other fool who's the general manager, they can't feel the moment. These people can't read it. If I were the general on the other side of the line, I'd take one look at Shanahan and know I'm bringing him down, even if it's in the last seconds of the game.
Thanks, Tony, for the call. In and out.
I have a hard time calling anyone a fool when you lose on a walk-off in the Super Bowl.
She was in and out, though. Got to say, that was impressive.
That was her
no religious talk.
Call.
No religious talk. No zone. Tony's in the zone.
Sam is
and you know what? Tony is consistent. She's been down on Shanahan all year. She's not a Shanahan fan. Martial Arts John in Richmond.
Hey, John.
Martial Arts John, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, fellas? I just have a quick question. So, I mean, in UFC and martial arts, you know, someone might come out strong, win the first round, 2 rounds. But with certain stars, like, say, Khabib, right, he takes you down, you know, you can start getting that feeling. Or Anderson Silva back in the day starts taunting and boxing you up, right? Start getting that feeling like, oh, man, it doesn't matter how strong the guy came out. This is over. We're going into deep waters here. I want to ask you guys, At what play did you guys get that sinking Mahomes feeling? Was it the kickoff?
It was the punt return.
Was it the missed point?
For me, right when they muffed the punt return, I was like, there you go. And then the very next play was a touchdown. Right then and there, I was like, we're going to blow this whole thing.
You know what I felt it? When they did score off that interception, I said, boy, we're playing with fire. And I was a little before the muff punt. But everything leading up to that, when they didn't score and they came out 3 and out.
What did I say?
And I said, boy, they got the ball at the 44-yard line. You throw an incompletion, false start next play. Now all of a sudden it's 3rd and 15, and you get no points. And I said, oh, boy, we're in trouble. They're letting Mahomes hang around. By the way, on the muff punt, the 49ers got away with their running into the punter. Happened right in front of us. And both referees are looking at each other, waiting. They're thinking about throwing the flag.
What did I say? Why? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's just not buttoned up, man.
I'm telling you, dude, this is going to
PAT blocked. Yeah. The first 55-yarder got. Go look at the first field goal
the guy
Jake Moody made.
Goes untouched.
He was untouched. We're lucky that wasn't a touchdown for Kansas City. That's a problem, man, not being this buttoned up. What the hell is wrong with us? Sleprock and Hayward. I'm distraught right now. I'm just thinking about this game.
Sleprock.
I thought I got over it.
I will never get over it.
What's up, Sleprock? I told myself I wouldn't get mad this morning.
It's going to take a while, but here's the thing. The Achilles heel is what got the Niners in the situation they were in, and I don't mean Dre Greenlaw. I mean the two Achilles heel coming into the game was Kyle Shanahan himself and the team in a whole themselves. They weren't buttoned up, like you said. They were getting in their own way. They were their own roadblock for the parade. They didn't do what they were supposed to do as players, but yet they had the whole team set up to win. They had everything they needed. They just got in their own way. Shanahan with his play calling, his clock management, and the team, like I said, in whole penalties before the snap. It just wasn't their day. And these are the repercussions. And you don't fire Kyle, you don't castrate him like the caller did, but I mean, he was the Achilles heel. Yeah. That's why they lost.
Good call. We got to keep it moving here. Good call, Sleprock. Let's go to Kevin in San Francisco. Kevin, what's happening? We got about 45 seconds or less here because we got to run. No problem, Kevin.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I want to say, first of all, get off all the players, get off all what happened negative, because that's what happens in the loss. The Niners was winning this game from the beginning, even though it was going back and forth. We were winning the game all the way to the third to fourth quarter, and that's when Mr. Mahomes did the same thing Brock did to Detroit. He started running. He got free, got close enough for them to make a touchdown and win. We could have won this game many times. We were winning the game, but we couldn't win it. We couldn't finish it. But everybody did great, and everybody got hurt, and they was playing their hearts out.
All right, good perspective there. Way to keep it positive there, even though we're not the most positive guys right
I'm
now.
not sure the offensive line had a great day.
He ruined your zone.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Nick Bosa. It's just everything that's coming. These guys, dude, just go to Cabo already. Bobby in Los Altos, what's happening? What's up, Bobby?
Hey, 45 seconds.
Yep.
45 seconds. Okay, let's go. First of all, I've never heard a walk-off call in my life, but I guess Juice just did a walk-off call. But to the game, listen, look, everybody for some reason needs to find some reason to blame. How many minutes were we leading those two home playoff games? We got the lead against Green Bay in 1 minute left, and then the Brandon Ayuk immaculate reception basically got us to the Super Bowl. So you could either look at it two ways. We were a team of destiny going to the Super Bowl, or we were on borrowed time. So, look, bad breaks happen. I mean, it's ridiculous to find something to blame, to say we blame Shanahan. Of course you can play better. You can always play better, even in a win, but just bad breaks happen. I think it's criminal to say McLeod muffed the punt. No one could have gotten that thing. And, look, things just happen. It's painful. We just got to reload and try next year. What else can you say? But to say that you have scientifically pinpointed the reason why we lost all the callers, if you want to live in anger like that, go ahead. But it was just bad breaks, and unfortunately it didn't work out for us.
All right, Bobby. Let's go to Duke of San Bruno. Duke of San Bruno, you'll finish the show. What up, Duke?
Thanks, guys. Hey, knowing Kyle Shanahan's history with quarterbacks, this is a serious question. Does he go after Cousins?
I'm not laughing.
Are you serious?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I know that's a real thing.
Kirk Cousins.
No, that's a real thing.
Play that 3rd and 5 one more time. 3rd and 5.
Here, I got it. Well, we don't have it on. Here we go.
We get a first down, we knock a lot of time out this clock. We can play the game right here.
The best play that you have in your book right now. Because you don't want to give Mahomes the ball back.
All right. Hey, man, we got no sacks, obviously.
Hey, alert the pressure. We cannot take a sack.
Christian. Got him. Give it to him.
Woo, that was a good move.
I will know if Kyle Shanahan has grown when it comes to relationships with quarterbacks if he can get over that misplay right there.
Yeah.